Renee and I do use credit cards, but we never pay credit card interest. We always pay our balance in full every single month, and we actually make a little money on our credit cards. We always get credit cards that do cash back. And so I look at it as making a little money, or I look at it as getting a 1% discount on everything that we do buy. Now, you've got to be careful with that, because some people, if they've got a credit card, they buy more than if they were just using a check or if they were using cash. You've got to have some self-discipline to use a credit card properly. You shouldn't buy anything more with a credit card than you would as you were using cash. So if you have trouble with that, be real with yourself. If you have trouble with that, maybe you should not even have a credit card. But some of my friends and some people have gotten into serious credit card debt. And I want to talk to you about how to get out of credit card debt. You know, some have run up enormous amounts. They pay 18% interest or even higher, and they only make minimum payments on that. And they've just got deeper and deeper and deeper in credit card debt. And look, if that's you, I'm sorry. But look, let's do something about it, okay? All of us have made blunders. All of us have made mistakes. We all have to learn. And so let's learn, and then let's go to work of getting out so that we can give like we want to others and provide for our family as we want. So here's a few thoughts as I challenge you to get completely out of credit card debt. Number one, make a list. Make a list. Actually put on paper exactly where you stand. Now, this may hurt. It may hurt. You have to get real. You see, God is realistic, and He expects people to be realistic. Let's go ahead and make a real list, as painful as it may be, and put down the balances, put down the date that the next payment is due, and put down the interest rate. All of this may be painful, but number one, make the list. Make yourself do it. Number two, make an action plan. I mean, make an action plan. Some people prefer to start working on the smallest balance so they can finally just get something paid off. Well, that's good. That's good. Others say, well, I'm going to attack the balance that has the highest interest. Well, that's good too. The good thing is you're getting out of debt. You want to get out of debt. So make a plan. Stick with the plan. Cultivate the plan. Incorporate the plan. And attack. Attack that debt. Then number three, always pay more than the minimum balance on every one of them. I encourage you. The one that you're attacking the most, be very aggressive with one of those. But even on all the others, do something extra. Psychologically, that will help you. And in a real money sense, it will be helpful to you. Number one, make a list. Number two, make an action plan. Number three, always pay more than a minimum balance. Number four, consolidate your balances. Sometimes you can consolidate, take from one credit card over to another that's a smaller interest rate. Now, often there's a transfer fee on that. And sometimes they'll give you even no interest for a short period of time once you pay that transfer fee over. Evaluate, use some math skills, do some figuring. Is this going to help me get out of debt? Now, it takes discipline, but sometimes consolidating your balances can help you. Now, number five, if you get some extra money from a side hustle or from a gift at Christmas time, at your birthday, if somebody gives you some money, you always tithe on your increase, but use that extra money and pay it on these credit card bills. You want to get out of debt. And it's hard. But when you get out of debt, oh, it's so wonderful. Debt is sort of like slavery. You want to get out of being enslaved to that credit card. So if you get extra money from a side hustle, it's good to have little side hustles. And you can have those to help pay off your credit card debt. And then number 6, be very careful about what you put on the card. Perhaps until you get out of credit card debt, don't use them anymore. Pay cash for everything. And don't use your credit cards at all. But, pay cash for everything. Write a check for everything. Or actual literal cash, American currency, or whatever country you're watching me in. Use actual currency to pay for those products and services. And then lastly, number 7, keep a chart up to date. That list you made early on number 1? Well, keep that list updated. Keep your chart updated and just work at it. Let me tell you a little story. My wife and I, completely out of all debt, all credit card debt, all everything, no debt even on the house. Well, we had a supper one time at a little restaurant. My wife had just picked me up from the airport, and we went to this little place to eat a meal. It's good food, good prices. And she had just picked me up at the airport. She took me over there to where we were going to eat, and she brought along the bills from the mail. And so I'm opening up the bills. She's driving. I'm opening up the bills, and I got our credit card bill. One of our credit cards, we used 2, and I opened up one, and it said we were late, and it had a late fee on it, and it had interest on it. I thought, this can't be. Now, this was several years ago. And I got the checkbook out of my wife's purse, and I looked, and we'd sent the payment in 8 days early. So I called them. We pulled into the restaurant, and I called that credit card. I called them. I said, hey, I got my bill, and it says that my payment came late. And I've got a late fee, and I've got finance charges on it. And the gentleman who answered said, yes, your payment came in late. I said, I'm surprised by that. I mailed my payment in 8 days early. 8 days before the due date, I mailed it in. He said, well, it got here 1 day late. I said, I'm really surprised by that because I live in Virginia. You're in Delaware. And I'm just really surprised that it took 9 days for my payment to get to you. He said, well, that's the way it is. I said, okay. I said, I want you to look back through my payment history. Have I ever been late? Well, no, sir, Mr. Fox, you've never been late. Have I ever paid any interest? No, you haven't. Have I ever paid late charges? No. I said, well, you tell me my payment's late, and so I'm just going to have to accept that. But here's what I'm going to do, I told him. I said, I'm going to make the payment, and I'm going to pay these late charges, and I'm going to pay these finance charges. I'm going to do that. I said, but then I'm going to cancel my credit card with you. I don't ever want to use this credit card again because I don't like interest, and I don't like late payments, and I'm having a hard time understanding how that it took more than 8 days. He said, hold it, Mr. Fox. Hold it. We don't want to lose you. Oh, Mr. Fox, if I take that interest charge off and if I take that late payment off, would you please not close your account? I said, well, certainly I will not close my account. I said, certainly. He said, oh, I'm taking it off right now. I'm so glad he did that. I didn't want to be ugly with him. But I didn't want to pay those charges. Now, you can't do that every single month, year after year, month after month. You can't do that with your credit cards. But if you've got an exemplary track record and somehow some episode like that, they will work with you. At least that was my experience. And I was so happy. I was relieved. By the way, my wife and I went in there. We had a good meal. Came back outside and got in the car. You know what we had done? We had left the car running the entire time that we were in there eating our meal. I got so caught up in my conversation, I left my car running. I'm so glad that somebody didn't steal my car. And we probably burned out, I don't know, $30 worth of gas out there. Funny things and memorable things do happen in life. But I want to encourage you, friends, get out of debt, which includes get completely out of credit card debt. God bless.